Growing up in Tucson, Rodney was competitive and doing whatever he could to better himself.
And anything he did, he wanted to beat you, regardless of what it was.
When he was in baseball season, sometimes I would be the catcher or the fielder, and during football season, I would be the center or the wide receiver. Whatever he needed me to be, I was there.
Once Rodney got to Saguaro High School, he was a three-sport star, playing varsity football, basketball, and baseball. He was named All-State twice in both football and baseball. As a sophomore, Peete scored 17 points in the title game to help lead the Cougars to the state championship in basketball.
We all knew that we had to do our part and try to help them out. So I just had to take my shot, and luckily it went in.
He played a vital role in our winning the state championship in '82. Probably the best game that he played in his career.
A couple of months later, Rodney pitched the Cougars to the state title in baseball. Peete didn't find out he was pitching until legendary coach Hal Eustace approached him the morning of the championship game.
I want you to go out and pitch against Brophy. I want you to throw as hard as you can, as long as you can. And Rodney hadn't pitched since he was 11 years old in Little League. And Rodney went out and won the game 6-3.
Peete moved to Kansas with his family for his senior year of high school, but came back out west for college, attending USC.
Rodney was obviously recruited by everybody, but I think we had a little edge. Willie, his dad, had coached against USC a long time, and I think knew SC was a great place for Rodney.
As a Trojan, Peete played baseball for 3 seasons, but it was the football field where Rodney was known as Sweet Pete. He was the starting quarterback his final 3 years and played his best when it mattered the most. In 1987, USC trailed rival UCLA 13-0 in the third quarter when Peete led the Trojans to a thrilling 17-13 come-from-behind victory, sending USC to the Rose Bowl.
Looking into Rodney's eyes, he just knew that something was going to happen. And when he finally threw that touchdown pass to Affolter to win the game, another great moment in USC history that a lot of people will never forget.
That was Troy Aikman's time. To have everything line up and have the opportunity to beat him that day, that was a lot of fun.
The following season, Rodney's senior year, Peete, the team captain, checked into the hospital after being stricken with the measles the week of the UCLA contest.
What a wild week that was.
That game was for everything. Winner goes to the Rose Bowl, and loser goes home. So waking up Saturday morning, we didn't know if he's going to be able to play or not.
But come game day, Rodney was on the field.
Every eye in the stadium, all 100,000 pairs will swing out onto the field to see number 16 come out.
Somehow, Peete persevered and led USC to victory once again, cementing his legacy as a man of Troy, as the Trojans marched to the Rose Bowl, winning the Pac-10 for the second straight year and a number 7 national ranking. The honors poured in for Peete after his senior season. He was named first-team All-American, Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year, he won the Johnny Unitas Award, and finished second behind Oklahoma State's Barry Sanders in the balloting for the Heisman Trophy. Following his USC career in 1989, Rodney was drafted for the 3rd time in 5 years in the Major League Baseball amateur draft, but it was football in Detroit where Rodney was headed. The Lions selected Peete in the 6th round of the NFL draft, and Rodney spent his first 5 seasons in Detroit.
We had some good years here. I remember our first win, actually. I remember it so well because I was sidelined that game because of injury, and he played a great game. And it gave me a chance really just to sit on the sideline and watch him play.
He later played 4 years in Philadelphia, where in 1995, Rodney led Philly to the playoffs where they trounced Detroit, 58-37 in a wild card matchup. Peete led the NFL that season with 4 game-winning drives and 3 comeback wins. Peete finished up his career in Carolina, where he guided the Panthers to 6 more wins in the previous season in 2002. And in 2004, Rodney's final season, Peete was part of the Carolina team that made it to the Super Bowl. During his 16-year NFL career, Peete played for 6 different teams, and including his high school and college days, Rodney had an indelible impact at each and every one of his stops.
Whether the times were tough or easy, you know, he had a way about him, just flash a smile, smooth everything out, and move on. So I think that was the most special thing about Rodney.
Rodney was, to me, is always the ultimate competitor. What happened when he got on the field, always good things happen. So when you say Rodney Peete, I think winner.
Congratulations, Rodney, to you and your family. You're well deserving of going into the Arizona Hall of Fame, and continue success to you. Appreciate you, man.